no one has a gripe with David Stern any bigger than the Laker fans right now. So
exactly. If you really want to go there, if we're going to compare.
Wait, David Stern gave Nash the contract?
No, David Stern nixed the season.
David Stern gave Kobe the contract?
Oh, man.
He gave them the contract?
All right, so let's talk about the question everybody wants answered. What's the ceiling on the Los Angeles Lakers?
Oh, wow. Well, I guess I can chime in on this one. No, I've been preaching this the entire off season, the entire summer out here in Los Angeles. Folks have to have perspective. This is not a championship team. This is nowhere near a championship team. This isn't even a playoff team. Now, can this team be exciting? Are there reasons to watch this team? Yes, as long as they're healthy, it's going to be exciting to see Kobe Bryant back on the court. Passing certain milestones. He's only a few hundred points away from passing Jordan for third all time on the scoring. Taking Jordan's spot on the all time scoring list. And there are a few other ones, but really, if you're a Lakers fan, you have to make this season about the development of Julius Randle, the development of Jordan Clarkson, the development of Ed Davis. Seeing what he's all about, because I actually happen to think that's one of the less heralded, but really good, quiet, especially bargain moves of the off season.
Agreed.
You have to make it about that. You can't go into this thinking like, oh, Byron Scott has to turn this around right now, and these guys just have to the West is tough. It only got tougher. We've already talked about some of the teams that were toward the bottom of the West. There really are no easy or just freebies out there. So when you're playing 50 of your 82 games, against that type of competition, if you end up with 35 wins, you're somewhere between 35 and 40. I honestly have to be thankful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, agreed.
All right. I would say the ceiling for the Lakers is the lid on the dumpster while it's on fire.
Jesus.
But yeah, the Lakers, actually, the loss of Steve Nash, other than monetarily wise, it's a blessing in disguise for them. It gives them a chance to give other guys minutes. And Jeremy Lin, a lot of people hate on him.
I'm excited to see Jordan Clarkson, personally.
Well, you could, once Lin gets healthy, I'm not saying that he's going to get injured, but if Kobe is not 100% healthy, if we get a second glimpse of Lin Sandy in LA, that would be awesome. I would definitely want to see that. Have the team, Lin run wild. That would be awesome. But yeah, definitely a development season for the Lakers. Again, I had fun watching them last year because it was a different hero every night, and they had a lot of characters on that team. Nick Young this year might be a little toned down from the character-wise with Kobe coming back, but I think it's going to be a fun team to watch night in, night out. It's not going to be a good team to watch, though.
All right.
I agree. I think they're definitely I'm going to be kind here and say they're going to be maybe 35-win team this year. I think if the bright spot for them has already shined in the preseason here, and if they would have just suited up Jeannie Buss and her brass cojones after going around to all those talk shows, I think they would be the 7th seed in the West.
All right, Jabari, I know you have to go. Thank you for joining us. But before you go, can you give us your Eastern Conference, Western Conference, and champion predictions?
Boy. Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. I know I yap at times, but I definitely would join any time throughout the season. Eastern Conference, I think it's going to really boil down to a couple teams. I do realize that there are several actually decent teams out there this year. It's not just a 2-team race, which really ended up being 1-team race. I think it's still going to boil down to Cleveland and the Bulls if they're healthy. I'm not completely writing off teams like the Wizards. I'm not completely writing off the Raptors. I think they'll at least compete, but I just don't think they have enough to be. I don't think they have enough to dethrone both of those guys. It's probably going to be Cleveland coming out of the East, although, you know what, I'll admit it. I kind of want to see the Bulls. I would love to see Derrick Rose stay healthy. I'd love to see Powell be able to play in the fourth quarter there, depending upon, what his effort is like. So I'd like to see them, but if it's gun to my head, it's probably going to be Cleveland. Out of the West, I'll surprise you. I'll go ahead and I'll stick with OKC, even though Kevin Durant is out. I do realize they're going to be a step behind. But much like whomever it was earlier that said they thought that KD, expect him to come on strong in the second half. I think they're going to have enough in order to finally dethrone the Spurs as the Western Conference representatives this year.
Wow!
And if I got to choose, if they're healthy, you know what? I'll go OKC.
Wow! All right,
Yep.
Fantastic. All right, thank you again, Jabari. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely no problem. Thank you.
All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, you'll watch a Laker fan, a Knicks fan, and a Celtics fan try to break down the Eastern Conference. You're listening to 87 Sports Fans Live, the NBA preview show on Late Night Sports Radio.
Something shines in your eyes tonight. Maybe there's no need to lie tonight. I see your lips out on fire. Oh baby, I want you to be mine. Catch me, baby, I'm waiting for you. So come on, break the rules. The time is right, the time's tonight. Let it start and you won't stop. Let it start and I won't stop. We'll never stop. Let it start and we won't stop because this night belongs to us. We'll never stop because this night is just for us. We'll never.
Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
'87 Sports Fans Live. It's the NBA preview show. If you missed the first segment, well, shame on you. Jabari Davis from Basketball Insiders joined us, provided some great points on the Western Conference. Bob Sullivan joined us as well and will stick around. And I am, as always, joined by Mr. Steven Taylor.
Yeah, and you know what? You need to go back and listen to that first segment because at one point we all reenacted the movie Blue Chips.
Yeah, that's true.
I think I was distracted.
I guest starred as Woody Harrelson joining in. I know he wasn't in Blue Chips, but I was the Woody Harrelson type character in that.
I was going to say starring Bob Sullivan as Neon Bordeaux.
Yeah. I played Rick Fox's character in that first segment.
Oh, my God.
A reminder that this and every broadcast is brought to you by CG Imaging. That's cg-imaging.com. CG Imaging, virtually creating reality. And also brought to you by The Lockbox by Steven Taylor, a thrilling spy novel available for paperback and digital download on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. That title again, The Lockbox by Steven Taylor. All right, so the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, Jabari was picking the Oklahoma City Thunder to come out. Gentlemen, what are your picks for the Western Conference? I probably should have got those before the break.
I'm actually agreeing with him. I think Durant, he has this little bit of rest to begin the season with the injury. He finished so strong, and the team really was clicking last season. I think the Spurs, I still think they're going to be great. But I think Oklahoma City, I think this is going to be their year. I really do. I would have to agree with them on that.
Yeah, I'm a Thunder guy as well. I just think it's too tough to come out of the West 3 years in a row at this point. And I don't think, the Spurs at some point, I've been saying it for, a few years. Age is going to catch up with them at some point. Who the hell knows when that's going to happen? They got Kawhi Leonard, barring injury, but I'm going to say Thunder just because I want to see somebody different.
Every year I want to believe that this is the year the Spurs are too old. This is the year the Spurs just run out of gas. This is the year the Spurs don't win, and every year they make me a fool. So until they prove me wrong now, this is what we've come full circle now. I am going to pick the Spurs until they lose. And there's my Western Conference pick, the Spurs. There. All right, moving over to the Eastern Conference. Let's start with what the heck? Well, you know what? We're going to save the Atlantic Division for last. Freaking Knicks and Celtics fans that I'm surrounded by. Let's go to the Southeast Division. Atlanta, Miami, Orlando, Washington, and Charlotte. What's everybody think the remnants of the Miami Heat are going to be this year?
I think that Chris Bosh is going to revert back to his playing days in Toronto, where he was much more of the centerpiece of the team than he was the last couple seasons. He was the number 3 guy. Well, Dwayne Wade, I'm not expecting too much from him because once again, he's shot. He still has the drive, but I think his body is really toasted. So I think Chris Bosh, it's still a solid Miami Heat team. I think he's going to be, by the end of the season, he's going to potentially be in MVP talk. I think he's going to have that much of a resurgence of his playing days, like I said, back when he was with Toronto. So to me, I think Miami's going to definitely take the Southeast. Do I think they're better than Cleveland or the Bulls? I'm not going to say that, but I would definitely put them number 3 in the East. Which is actually not saying much because it's the East, but I still think they'll be number 3.
I'm with you. I'm actually, I'm a big, this is more a classic Pat Riley type setup of a team. Not, having a bunch of veterans, guys that are, a little farther down the line in their career, and they're going to have to grind out some wins. I mean, Udonis Haslam's going to have to play, a little bit more of his old role. You got Bosh, who I agree is going to be MVP candidate at the end of the year if he goes back to his old ways. You bring in Danny Granger, Sean Williams, Shabazz Napier, Josh McRoberts, all good role players. And I think they can be as high as a 3 seed. And I also think they have a shot to make some cause trouble in the playoffs as well. I think they could beat a Bulls or a Cavs in a 7-game series.
Oh, I think the Heat are going to be better than I would have thought because you think LeBron leaving is just going to decimate that team, but Dwayne Wade and Bosh, like you guys already said, are pretty significant pieces still. and you look at, you know,